Welcome back to Homesteading with the Zimmermans, where each week we give you another episode of what's happening here on our Northeast Iowa 21-acre homestead. My husband Alvin and I have been married for 25 years, and we have 7 children. 5 of those children still live at home. Our oldest 2 are married and no longer live at home, so this means we also have 2 son-in-laws and 1 grandson so far. So on our 21-acre homestead, we seek to preserve the self-sufficient lifestyle of our Old Order Mennonite heritage for the next generation. We involve the children in every aspect of the homestead, from raising and harvesting our own meat, gardening and preserving to fill the family's larder, or preserving the dairy from the family milk cows, plus all the many other skills that develop the character and integrity and relationships of a family that seeks to bring glory and honor to their Heavenly Father. Hello everyone, Ruth Zimmerman here for Homesteading with the Zimmermans. And in today's video, I am taking you along for a birthday celebration. Yes, another one. Harrison and Kendrick's birthdays are just a month apart. They are 13 months apart in age. And just a little backstory with them. When we took Kendrick in as a foster baby, I was already pregnant with Harrison. We were told that it would be a short-term placement. And because I had 2 teenage daughters at home that summer, I'm like, sure, we'll take a baby. I was on the couch a lot with morning sickness, but this will give the girls something to focus on while I'm on the couch. So long story short, that turned out to be a permanent addition to our family, and we couldn't have been happier about it, and still are. And this meant that a month after Kendrick turned 1, Harrison was born, and the 2 have basically been raised like twins. And you'll see in the video that Harrison chose a lot of the same things that Kendrick chose for his birthday, and which is just very much how the boys do. And it all starts with Maxwell's the oldest of the 3 little boys, and he has an August birthday. So usually things that he chooses for his birthday are what inspires Kendrick and Harrison to choose what they want for their birthday. So also, we've celebrated our grandson's first birthday, and my birthday was this week too. So I didn't get a lot of footage of my birthday, and the family will actually be cooking for me this Friday, but I won't be able to add it to this week's video because I'll have this video all edited and uploaded by Friday family dinner. But I'll try to get little glimpses of what they made for me and stick them into next week's video. So, before we dive into birthday celebrations, my new issue of Backwoods Home magazine has arrived, and there's one article that I'm going to read before any other, and I've already started, and it's all about rhubarb. So rhubarb is one of the first things that come up, and I actually showed how big mine is in our midweek video. And I always get so excited to use it, but I run out of ideas. So one of my favorites is French rhubarb pie, and that's the family's favorite. We make rhubarb crunch. My mom used to make a rhubarb punch that she would put in the freezer. But this issue of Backwoods Home has some great recipes in it. They have iced rhubarb tea, which I can't wait to try. They also have rhubarb chutney, and then they have a rhubarb sauce. It's loaded with rhubarb recipes. The other article that I've seen the boys pour over already is an article on earthworms and all about earthworms. And did you know there's a coloring page in the Backwoods Home magazine? And there's cabbages, and another one that I'm kind of excited to read is about raising turkeys on the homestead. So I'm excited to dig into that a little more. But probably one of my favorites, because this is something I like to do, is harvesting rainwater. I've seen a lot of videos on it and read online, but to have a printed article that I can come back to again and again I'm really excited about that. So, but I like to read this a little bit at a time. So I'll have the description for your discounted. I'll have the link for your discounted subscription to Backwoods Home right down here in the description. So let's talk about Harrison's birthday. So we always celebrate the birthday with a meal of the birthday boy's choice on the family dinner that falls closest to their birthday. So even though it's a couple days still until Harrison's birthday, today at family dinner is when we are celebrating him. So he helps me set up the smoker because on his menu, his requested menu are chicken wings and cheese balls, like fried cheese curds, and scalloped potatoes. So we're going to smoke the chicken wings before we fry them. So these chicken wings were grown right here on the homestead, and I'm going to smoke them for about 2 hours at 250 degrees, and I'm just going to sprinkle them generously with some Redmond's seasoned salt. So while the chicken wings are being smoked, I'm going to get started on the cheese curds. So I have to bring in 2 gallons of milk from the fridge in the shop. So another one of Harrison's requests is some homemade coffee ice cream. So I'm going to scrape some of the heaviest cream off of these 2 gallons of milk and save them for making his ice cream. So then I'm going to use these 2 gallons of fresh milk, and I'm going to bring them up to 90 degrees to get my cheese curds started. So then I've added my rennet and cut the curd, and then I'm just going to stir the curds until they stick together. And I've done a very detailed video on making cheese curds, and I will link that video in the description for you if you want to learn how to make your own cheese curds. So then while the chicken wings are on the smoker and the cheese curds are resting, I'm going to get started on Harrison's coffee ice cream. So I took 1 tablespoon of instant coffee, dissolved it in some hot water, and then add that to the cream and milk mixture. And then of course there's sugar and vanilla and 4 egg yolks. And I'm going to link the video with detailed instructions on how to make your own homestead ice cream. I'll link that in the description for you. And of course, a pinch of salt goes into this, and we're going to mix it all up, and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator and let that chill until closer to supper time. So after 2 hours at 250 degrees, I am going to take all the chicken wings off of the smoker and chill them in the refrigerator so that they're ready for frying. So by this time, the children are home from school, and Harrison's Sunday school teacher, who is a retired bakery owner, takes their birthday cake requests and bakes it, decorates it, and delivers it on the day of your choice. So she showed up with Harrison's birthday cake.
Vanessa, how are you treating your mom?
Pretty good, I think.
Good. How's Vanessa treating you?
Pretty good.
Okay.
I like it. It looks like the real one.
Here, get your card off, Harrison.
Okay. I want to get his head. Can I open it? The card?
So I gave the boys a choice between folding laundry or peeling potatoes, and they chose folding laundry. So I am going to work on peeling some potatoes to make Harrison's scalloped potatoes. So I don't really have a recipe for scalloped potatoes. I just shred up a whole bunch of raw potatoes and I layer them into a pan, and on top of each layer I put butter and a little bit of flour and some salt and pepper. I also layer in some onions, and then I just repeat those layers. And then I put as much milk in as I have potatoes. So I bring the milk up to the same level that the potatoes are. and then we bake them. And because I'm making so many of these potatoes, I'm going to bake them at 350 for a good 90 minutes. But if you have just a 9 by 13, an hour is enough. So now that the potatoes are in the oven, I'm going to get started on making my breading for the cheese curds. So I've got buttermilk and flour and egg and then seasonings, and I'm going to whip this all together and mix it with the cheese curds. And then about an hour before supper, I will get the ice cream started. And Elvin bought me this Winter brand ice cream machine a couple years ago for Christmas, and it has made us gallons and gallons and gallons of homemade ice cream since then. You don't need ice or anything. It has its own compressor to make it cold, and I'm going to link this one in the description for you. And now that everybody is here, it's time to start frying. And I'm frying my cheese curds in lard that was raised right here on the homestead. And Elvin is outside frying the chilled chicken wings. And he is also using lard that was raised right here on the homestead. So last minute, I decided to whip together a salad to kind of help round out our meal.
He had egg in his hair yesterday. You didn't.
Okay, now you can't blow until we sing. Ready? Wait. Oh yeah, it's on.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
All right, Harrison.
You spit all over me.
Woo!
Good
Nice.
spit
Not
on you
even
and
a
not on the
spit
cake.
job.
Yay.
So in this part of the video, I am going to take you along on a little journey of what chores does the birthday boy have before he goes to school. So even though we celebrated with the family a couple days ago, today is Harrison's actual birthday. Now Harrison gets the opportunity to not have to do any of his chores on his birthday, but just like his brothers have been for the last couple years, he is choosing to be part of chores anyway, even if it's his birthday. Their reason is, number one, they've said, I feel better when I help with chores, and I don't want other people to have to do extra work just because I'm taking the day off. So his day starts at 5:45. He brings both milk cows into their stalls and ties them up, gets them ready for milking, and then sits down and helps milk the one cow while I milk the other cow. And then when all the milking is done, his job is to feed the milk cows. So right now we're feeding our cows haylage. I will link the brand that we're using. It's called Alpha Hay, and it's like a fermented alfalfa. And he also has to untie the cows so that they can reach their feed trough. So then Harrison will hang out in the barn until the cows are done eating their breakfast. And this often gives a little bit of a tug of war because when he thinks they're done or they've eaten enough, it's not always when they think they're done. So him and the cows have different ideas of when they should be let out to pasture. But he usually does manage. Every once in a while, he has to come find me and say the cows won't leave the barn.
Okay. Oh, Dad, there's no food.
After chores are done, we head to the house for breakfast, and after he helps with the dishes, he practices his piano. So So after all of the morning chores are done, they usually have time for a couple minutes of games before they have to go to school. All right, it is Harrison's actual birthday. So I got him some Glazers that we're going to take to school so he can treat his classmates. And then, of course, I got him an extra special donut. Well, it is Monday night, and we never go out on a Monday night, but Harrison somehow convinced his dad and I that because it was his actual birthday today, it made more sense for us to go out tonight than any other night this week. And so we are going out to celebrate Harrison's birthday. It's his chance to be an only child for the evening. For a couple hours, yep. And Harrison, where are you going?
What is that?
So we're going to the same restaurant that Kendrick went to, and like I said earlier, oftentimes the boys choose the same things. Like they're highly influenced by each other. They've, basically been raised like triplets. So what one wants, the other wants to experience as well. Harrison, do you know what you're going to order?
Nope.
Not yet?
All I know is I'm going to order 1919 root beer.
You're going to have 1919 root beer.
Because your brother did.
Because your brother did?
No, only because once I tried it at the pub for the first time.
Oh, you
And
tried
I
it at
liked
the
it.
pub and it was good. All right. He's so full.
He's so full.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's look at the mountains.
Mom, I'm taller than the wood.
Okay, are you ready? Stand back. Okay. You are exactly as tall as Mitchell was when he was 10. So that could mean that you're going to be taller than Mitchell was.
Yeah.
Or it could just mean that you're having your growth spurt younger than Mitchell did. So if you watched Kendrick's birthday video, you already understand some of the reason behind why we celebrate the way we do. It's greatly influenced by our Old Order Mennonite childhoods where birthdays aren't celebrated in the way most Americans celebrate, largely because families are so huge and birthdays happen, every month in a family, of 10 or 12 children or more. And it just becomes a more low-key event, and that's what we've been influenced by. However, just because we have found a way to celebrate birthdays that works really well for our family does not mean that we're legalistic about it and don't allow the next generation to celebrate the way they want to. So when our daughter and son-in-law asked if they could use our new building to host our grandson's first birthday party, we said that we would be happy to help them host. And so Winston had a farm-themed first birthday party, and we loved celebrating him. Our daughter and son-in-law did a great job with setting up the birthday party. And obviously, we're going to be much more indulgent grandparents than we were parents. But that might all change as we get more grandchildren as well. But the baby chicks from Murray McMurray Hatchery were the highlight of the birthday party, other than Winston, of course. And I tried to tell parents that the chicks were a party favor and that their children would all be taking home one baby chick. But obviously, nobody took me seriously because at the end of the day, we were left with the same 25 baby chicks that we had started out with.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta work on your truck.